Now we can do a little exercise. If you have a pen and paper, I'll take you along with this. We're going to do a little bit of mathematics. Okay, third standard mathematics, nothing much. If you've done your budgeting, it'll be a lot easier. Okay, so just write down here. You don't have to share this with anybody. It's just for your understanding. How much is your total monthly family income? How much is your total monthly family income? You don't have to share it. Please write it down.
So, Bhuvna,
yes, madam.
I have family income and I have my own individual income also. What should I consider?
Family income, please.
Okay.
Yeah. How much of this do you save, such as bank FD or investment funds? How much of this income do you put away in savings? How much net available cash do you have for expenses? Which will be the difference between A and B. How much net available cash do you have for expenses, or how much do you spend on a monthly basis? If you've done the budgets, if you have like a very close to reality number, but if not, you probably do some kind of a guess, but start somewhere. It's okay even if it's a guess. Okay, now how much is readily available in safe investments meant for emergency purposes? You must have stashed some money away and kept it away, right? So some kind of a bank account or a money market fund or something where you can easily access that money. This is called the emergency money. How much is really available in safe investments for your household, for your family? How much will you have in your savings bank account at the end of this month? So this will typically be, okay, A minus B, which is after all your expenses, how much would you have at the end of this month? And some money that's stashed away. Okay, just get these numbers. So how much ready cash will be available for an emergency? In case of an emergency, how much ready cash? The money that you put away already over the years and the money that you will have at the end of this month after your expenses. So just put these two things together. D plus E should give you a number that's called ready cash available for an emergency. How much is ready cash available for emergency? Yeah. Okay. Now, how many months can you survive without any significant change to your lifestyle in case income stops? In case income stops, what is the amount available in emergency fund, which you did F, divided by the monthly expenditure? How many months? In case your income stops, how many months will you be able to maintain your lifestyle without any significant changes? How many months? Available money in emergency divided by monthly expenditure. Should be simply simple mathematics, or you can use the calculator. Get something like a 2 month, 5 month, 6 month, 1 year, 5 year. Okay. So in terms of days, what does that mean? How many days? So the number that you found just now into 30. How many days can you survive without any significant change to your lifestyle in case income stops? This is a chance for you to take stock of your important part of your financial health. It's like checking your BP, checking your blood sugar levels. You're checking how many months can you survive, or how many days can you survive without any significant impact on your lifestyle in case income stops. Okay. You all have a number? Is it okay if I do a poll just to understand this number and what is the financial fitness level of our group here? Can you launch that poll?
Yes, launched.
Okay. Can we see the answers?
Can you see the results, Purna?
I can't really.
Okay, so 54% said 6 months, greater than 6 months.
Okay.
27% have 3 to 6 months, 16% have 30 to 90 days, and less than 30 is 3%.
3%. Okay. Good. That's a fairly fit group here that we have. Okay. Now let's extend this a little more and tell me something else. You don't have to tell me again. Okay. So please take note of this. How many different sources of income do you have? So it might be that you're the only earning member, or your spouse might be earning, or you might have some business income apart from salaries. You might have some rent or some interest income coming from different sources. So how many different sources of income do you have? Just for example's sake, I've included three income sources here. So what is the contribution of source one to your total family income? So what percentage of the total family income is contributed by person one, by person two, or person three, or source one, source two, source three? So just make that very quick calculation for yourself. So if you're the primary earning member, you say 70% of the family's income comes from my salaries, another 20% comes from spouse salary, another 10% comes from some rental income, something like that. What's the contribution of source one to the total family income? Ideally, if you have more than one income sources, that's awesome. That's diversification, that's risk management. But if you don't, so be it. Okay? Okay. Now, if S1 stopped, if source one stopped for some reason, how many days can you survive without any significant change to your lifestyle? If one of the sources of income stopped. So you have this number of months, minus the contribution made by source one. So let's say 3 months was your answer, and 1/3 of income into the family is contributed by, let's say, yourself, right? For some reason, if you don't go to work in the next 1 month, the number of months that your family will survive will reduce by 1 month, right? So now NM minus the percentage into the number of months. So just do it for all the three sources. It's for you to just get a hang of what's your dependence on a particular income source to maintain lifestyle. If S1 stopped, if S2 stopped, if S3 stopped. Yep. Okay. We have this image. Just keep these numbers in mind. We'll talk about it in just a little while. I'm going to give you some scenarios that we're going to discuss here, and just be with me here.
I think we just want to do that question again, Purna.
Which one?
The previous one.
Previous one. Okay. You want me to go through this one more time? Okay. Okay, sure.
Could we just give an example? Because
I'll give you an example. Okay, let's assume that there are three sources of income. One is my income, S1. Another is my spouse's income, S2. And let's say S3 is rental income. Okay, my contribution to my family's income is, let's say, 10%. And let's say my spouse's contribution to the family's income is, let's say, 60%. And the rest of it comes from rental income. Okay, so if say if I can survive, if my household can survive 90 days if no income comes in at all, if I alone stop working, the impact will be only 9 days. Okay, the other sources of income continue coming, then the impact of me not working will only be 10%, because my contribution to the family's income is only 10%. So the family will still survive for 81 days. There won't be any problem. Right?
okay, so no money is a scenario where all the sources of income stops, right?
Yes, that was this one that we said, the previous scenario that we spoke about.
Yeah.
Is where all your income sources stop. Here we're saying only one source stops. What's the dependence? We're just trying to find out dependency.
Understood.
Yeah. What is the dependence on one source of income? Is it clear? If there are any questions, I'm happy to take them.
So in the this Divesh here.
Yes, Divesh.
So I'm just going back to the first part, the slide of ABC. So wherein we actually when we calculate the number of months, we are actually dividing F by C. That is ready cash available for emergency, total cash available, which is a summation of the emergency fund what you already have right now and how much you will have in the bank balance, right?
Correct.
But at the same time, we are dividing that amount by the net cash available by the month end.
Yes. No,
Right.
no, you're dividing it by monthly expenditure.
Monthly expenditure. So basically, when we say monthly expenditure, the monthly expenditure in C was arrived by total family income minus savings, right?
Yes. Total family income minus savings. Yes.
Right. But here, that is also a possibility that not completely this amount would be available for expenses only. Only when you are following a zero budget. Otherwise, this may not be completely on that line, right? That is where I was assuming on that one.
Yeah, correct. So yeah, because we follow zero budgeting here.
Okay. No, the only other thing was that if part of my monthly savings also, so I have not counted the saving area for which I'm contributing towards monthly emergency. So for emergency fund, I may be also contributing on a monthly basis, which is not getting captured. It is by default getting into accounting for expenses, which may not be right, right?
Say that again, please.
So by default, I may be contributing some amount every month towards the emergency build-up. Towards the emergency build-up, but which is not part of my savings part. So then it by default is getting captured here. If we actually go by this format, it is by default getting captured in my expenses area, which is not right, right?
Yeah, so here we're talking about if you have committed to some long-term savings and you can't really stop saving that, then it's considered as part of monthly expenditure. But when it comes to emergency fund and you can stop your savings, then you want to reduce the monthly expenditure to the extent of the savings that you do. That's fine too.
Okay, so by default in this structure, by default, even if we are saving an amount towards emergency and not actual savings, then we should not consider it as part of the expense, but as a part of savings itself. So then it will give the right picture.
Correct. Yes.
Right. Okay, thanks.
Any other questions on this? Do we have this understanding of dependencies? Yeah. Okay. So if we have, then we move on. So is there something on the chat? Let me just check the chat box. Yeah. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Understand dependencies. Now I'm going to give you some scenarios and tell me what of these scenarios are true to you. Okay, we're not talking about what you would like it to be. We're talking about which of these scenarios are real to you. Okay, what would happen if your supervisor came to you today and said the company is downsizing and you're being offered early retirement, and if you don't take early retirement, you're likely to be let go. Okay. Now, which of these scenarios are true? I take early retirement and start doing what I've always wanted to do with my creative energy and time. Is this true? I panic. I need full-time employment to pay for things that I have purchased over time. Retirement pay just wouldn't be enough. I'd beg and plead to keep my job because without it, I'd have serious money problems. It wouldn't matter how much severance they gave me. I will need to find another job within a couple of months, or I'd have to move from my current residence. Which of these situations are true in your case? Which of these situations are the reality? We all know what we'd like, but what is it today? You'd like A, I know, but what is it today? Okay. Second situation. What would happen if a physician told you today that you need to have a serious surgery done that would require 2 months of recuperation with no work and another month or two of only part-time work before you can resume full activity? Which of these situations are true in your case? I'd lose my job if I had to be away for that long. I'd like to keep my job but would be forced to take some unpaid leave. I'd keep my job and would be paid for all the time I was away. I'd refuse the operation because I know I wouldn't get another job quickly enough to make ends meet. I'd quit my job and get well and then regroup and decide what I want to do with the rest of my life. And along the way, I would not have any money worries. Which of these situations is true in your case at this point in time? We all know what we like, what we would like, but which of these situations are true in your case? Okay. Next situation is, what would happen if your spouse was in a serious accident today and lost his or her job as a result of a long-term recovery or permanent disability? What would happen if you have a partner whose contribution into the family income is significant, and if he or she was in a serious accident and lost his or her job? What would the situation be? Everything in our lives would be turned upside down, not just our daily routine, but our finances. We'd be forced to move from our present home. We'd have serious trouble paying more than 1 month's utility and other bills. We'd have to borrow money if we wanted to maintain our present style. We'd focus all our energies on my spouse's recovery without money worries. Which of this situation is true in your case at this point in time? You don't really have to answer, guys, just for you to understand. One last situation, this is like real. Most of us feel this as we grow older. What would happen if an elderly parent had to move in with you because they have nowhere else to go, which would require you to quit your job and rely solely on your spouse's full-time job? What would happen? We'll have to stop all luxuries in our life. We wouldn't be able to continue to pay for most expenses we take for granted. We'd probably have to trade in my luxury car for a lesser vehicle. We'd have to rethink just about everything in our budget. We'd make it fine. I'd enjoy this opportunity to spend time with my parent. Which of these situations is true in your current situation? Which of these situations are true? Okay. Okay, now is what I want to hear from you. Share in your chat box a phrase or word that reflects how you feel right now. Just share how you feel right now. It's okay. Let's just understand where we are and then we can move from there. A phrase or word that reflects how you feel right now.